XLVIII, Texts of Miscellaneous Contents. Utterances 628 to 658. Utterance 628. 1786a, to say, O thou N, O thou N. 1786b, I am Nephthys, I am come, I lay hold of thee, I have put thy heart into thy body for thee. Utterance 629. 1787. To say, Osiris N, I am come, rejoicing for love of thee, N. Utterance 630. 1788a, to say, Osiris N, this source is in thee. 1788b, I am the waterhole, I am the flowing, or, overflowing. Utterance 631. 1789. To say, I have assembled my brother, I have united his limbs. Utterance 632. 1790a, to say, my heart is full of the place where thou art. 1790b, how harmful is thine odor, how bad is thine odor, how great is thine odor. Utterance 633. 1791. To say, thou art she who weeps for him. Utterance 634. 1792, N. V. 474. To say, Osiris N, I have brought to thee. 1793a, N. 474 to 475, b, in which are spirits. 1793a plus 1, N. 475. Osiris N. I have brought to thee. 1793b, N. 475 to 476. Thou livest in, thy, with her. Utterance 635. 1794a, to say, Osiris N, I have brought thee the eye of Horus which was in T.T. 1794b, this Rn, N, Wt.T, of whom the gods have fear. 1794c, the gods fear thee as they have fear of Horus. 1795a, Osiris N, Horus has put his eye in thy forehead, in its name of, great in charms, and so. 1795b, Osiris N, thou shalt dawn as king of Upper and Lower Egypt. Utterance 636. 796. To say, great watcher, give me thine arm that I may cause thee to stand. 1797a, I have come, to seek thee, I have come to protect thee. 1797b, I have avenged thee, I have not delayed to avenge thee. 1797c, thou art alive. Thou livest a life. 1798a, for thou art healthier than they. 1798b, the father of Osiris N, lives. Thou hast put the eye of Horus to thyself. Utterance 637. 1799a, to say, Horus comes. Filled, with ointment, he sought his father, Osiris. 1799b, he found him on his side in G.Ti. 1800a, Osiris filled himself with the eye of him whom he begot. 1800b, O N, I have come to thee also. 1800c. That I may fill thee with the ointment that came forth from the eye of Horus. 1801a, fill thyself with it. 1801b, it will assemble thy bones, it will unite thy limbs. 1801c, it will collect thy flesh. It will let thy evil sweat flow to the ground. 1802a, take its odor to thee, that thy odor may be sweet like that of Ra. 1802b, when he ascends in the horizon, and the gods of the horizon delight in him. 1803a, O N. The odor of the eye of Horus is upon thee. 1803b, the gods who follow Osiris delight in thee. 1804a, thou hast borne off their white crown, while thou art endued with the form of Osiris. 1804b. Whereby thou art a spirit, more than the spirits, as Horus himself, Lord of men, commanded. Utterance 638. 1805a, to say, Osiris N, the gods have bound thy face to thee. 1805b, Horus has given his eye to thee, that thou mayest see, with it. 1806a Osiris N, Horus has opened thine eye for thee, that thou mayest see with it. 1806b In its name of, she who opens the ways of God. Utterance 639. 1807a, to say, Osiris N. Take the eye of Horus, being alive, that thou mayest see with it. 1807b Osiris N, thy face is opened by the light. 1807c Osiris N, thy face is illuminated, as the earth is illuminated. 1808a Osiris N. I have given the eye of Horus to thee, as Ra gives it, the light. 1808b Osiris N, put the eye of Horus to thyself, that thou mayest see with it. 1809a Osiris N, I have opened thine eye that thou mayest see with it. 1809b Osiris N. I have given to thee, the ointment. Utterance 640. 1810a, to say, O Geb, thy son is Osiris N. 1810b, make thy son live in himself, make thy son well in himself. 1810c, that he may not die, that he may not die. 1811a, if he lives, thou livest. If he is well, thou art well. 181b, Geb, be preeminent for thyself, Geb, be honored for thyself. 1811c, Geb, be a soul for thyself, Geb, be mighty for thyself. 1812a, thou art mighty, thou drivest out every evil thing which pertains to Osiris N. 1812b, thou doest service of courtier, for life for, or, behind, Osiris N. 1812c, that he may not die, that he may not perish. Utterance 641. 1813a, to say, Osiris N, I have come with, I am Horus. 1813b. I have come, that I may speak for thee, I am thy son. 1814a Osiris N, thou art the eldest son of Geb. 1814b, his primogeniture, his heir. 1814c Osiris N, thou art he who dawnest after him. 1815a. The inheritance was given to thee by the Ennead. 1815b, thou art powerful over the Ennead, and even, over, every god. 1816a. 1816b, an eye which goes, forth from thy head. 1816c. Utterance 642. 1817a, to say, Shu, thou envelopest all things within thine arms. 1817b, Osiris N, thou preventest that he escape, from thee. 1818a, of Adam who masturbated for thee. 1818b. Thou art his Ka. 1818c, protect him from. Utterance 643. 1819a, to say, Osiris N. 1819b, he lives. Thou art a god, thou art powerful over the gods. 1820a. An eye has gone forth from thy head, like, the great in charms, the upper Egyptian white crown. 1820b, great. 1820c, a thing gone out from him. 1821a, thy. 1821b. Thy Ka stands among the gods, thy, on earth. 1822a, on. 1822b, draw the Ka after thee, draw life after thee. 1822c, draw joy after thee, Osiris N. Utterance 644. 1823a. To say, children of, Horus, put yourselves under N. 1823b, carry him lest he escape from you. 1823c, carry him, like Horus in the NW boat. Utterance 645. 1824a, to say, Osiris, N, Horus has carried thee in the NW boat. 1824b. He carries thee as a god, in thy name of Seeker. 1824c, as he carries his father. 1824d, Osiris N, he unites himself with thee. 1824 NT 13,361. Thou shalt be powerful over Upper Egypt as Horus, over whom thou art powerful. 1824 F. NT 13,361-362. Thou shalt be powerful over Lower Egypt as Horus, over whom thou art powerful. 1824 G. Thou shalt be powerful, thou shalt be protected, in thy body from thine enemy. Utterance 646. 1825 A. 1 NT 358. The Ennead has put thine enemy under thee. 1825 A. 2 NT 358-359. As he spoke to thee, in thy name of Osiris N. 1825 A. NT 359. Horus has made thee great in thy charms in thy name of great in charms. Utterance 647. 1826 A. To say, Osiris N. Horus has carried thee. 1826 B. He lifts thee up into the NW boat, in thy name of Seeker. 1827 A. Thou art equipped with him. 1827 B. Thou shalt be powerful, over Lower Egypt as Horus, over whom thou art powerful. Utterance 648. 1828 A. To say, Osiris N. Horus has given thee these 4 children of his. 1828 B. That thou mayest be powerful over them. 1829 A. He said to them, Put yourselves under N. 1829 B. Carry him, not one of you shall escape. 1829 C. They came to thee. 1829 D. They carried thee, not one of them escaped. Utterance 649. 1830 A. To say, Osiris N. Geb has given thee all the gods. 1830 B. That they may unite with thee. Thou hast power over them. 1830 C. And they fraternize with thee, in their name of SN.WT. 1830 D. They have not rejected thee in their name of the 2 ITR.T palaces. 1831 A. Osiris N. Horus has assigned them to thee, united them. 1831 A+1. He has encircled for thee all the gods in the embrace of thy 2 arms. 1831 A+2. Together with their lands, together with all their possessions. 1831 A+3. That they may do service of courtier, as thy bodyguard. 1831 A+4. O N, thou art a great God. 1831 A+5. Thou art great, thou art bent around like the circle which encircles the NB weight. 1831 B. Osiris N. Behold, thou art avenged, thou livest. Thou movest daily. 1831 C. Osiris N. There is no discord in thee. 1831 D. Osiris N. Thou art the Ka of all the gods. 1832 A. Horus has avenged thee, thou art become his Ka. 1832 A+1. O Osiris N. Thou art a god, the power of all the gods. 1832 B. An eye has gone forth from thy head like the great in charms of Upper Egypt. 1832 B+1. He has given to thee as his eye in thy forehead as the great in charms of Upper Egypt. 1832 B+2. An eye has gone forth from thy head, in Lower Egypt. 1832 B+3. Thou dawnest as Horus, king of Lower Egypt, they are fraternizing with thee. 1832 B+4. In alliance with Horus, king of Lower Egypt. 1832 B+5. Thou dawnest as king of Upper and Lower Egypt. 1832 B+6. Thou art powerful over the gods, also their castes. 1832 B+7. O Osiris N, thou art the 2 souls, thou shalt not die. 1832 B+8. Osiris N, thou hast spoken, thou hast rejoiced, Osiris N. 1832 B+9. Thou hast a B.A., Osiris N, thou hast life, Osiris N. 1832 B plus 10. Thou art powerful, thou destroyest thine enemies, Osiris N. 1832 B plus 11. Horus, thou hast made peace, to be, with Osiris N. 1832 B plus 12. Peace be upon her. 1832 B plus 13. Thou hast put thy regard upon her. 1832 B plus 14. May peace be to thee, which he gives to thee, to thy head. Utterance 650. 1833 to say, it is Osiris N, son of Nut. 1833 B. She caused him to appear as king of Upper and Lower Egypt in all his dignity. 1833 C. She caused him to appear as Anubis, first of the Westerners, as Osiris son of Geb. 1833 D. Gods, as Ndi, chief of the Eastern Gnomes. 1834 A. The earth produces, N, he shall be chief of the gods who are in heaven. 1834 B. As Geb, chief of the Ennead. 1835 A. His mother, Heaven, bears him, living, each day, beloved of Ra. 1835 B. With whom he dawns in the east, with whom he sets in the west. 1835 C. His mother Nut is not void of him, daily. 1836 A. He equips N with life. 1836 B. He makes his heart rejoice, he makes his heart sweet. 1837 A. He settles for him the south. He settles for him the land of the north. 1837 B. He destroys for him the fortresses of Asia. 1837 C. He quells for him all the people, rebels, under his fingers. Utterance 651. 1838, to say, Osiris N. Take to thyself the eye of Horus, to thy forehead. Utterance 652. 1839 A. To say, Osiris N. Take to thyself the eye of Horus, which I have taken from Set, after he had ravaged it. 1839 B. Utterance 653. 1840, to say, Osiris N. Take to thyself the eye of Horus, a libation. Utterance 654. 1841 A. To S, I, O N. 1841 B. Braids of hair. 1841 C. That he may pass when he comes. Utterance 655. 1842 A. To say, N. 1842 B. Thighs of the gods. 1843 to 1, N. 1843 A. N. PL 1575. Says SSMTT, N. As a falcon comes forth as the eye of Horus. 1843 B. N. PL 1575. An IR. T. Serpent is coming forth like a falcon. 1844. 1845 A. Birds to the sky, birds to the earth, a feather of N. A bird. 1945 B. He reaches heaven like divine falcons, Marsh of Reed. 1845 C. The great uninjured star. 1846 A. N. 577. To slay. 1846 B. N. 577. GSP of N. GSP of the boat of Seeker. 1847 A. N. 577. Going. In the lakes of the jackal. 1847 B. N. 577. N. Makes his way towards you. Utterance 656. 1848, to say, N. 1849, to a message of the Ennead. Utterance 657. 1850, to say, N. Came. 1851, N. First of the West, Earners, upon his throne. 1852, N. Utterance 658. 1853, to say. 1854 A. The gods, caused, thee to prosper, they love thee. 1854 B. N. 7580. The gods wish these things for thee in thy name of ceaseless. 1854 c. Thou hast done. 1855 a. He quakes under thee, as the quaking of the earth, he does not escape thee. 1855 b. O, thou art more exalted I than he, in thy name of he of the exalted land. 1855 c. N. 581. Spring thou upon him, life. BHN.K. 1856 a. N. 582, lifted up. 1856 b. Without thy separating, from him, without his getting away from thee. 1857 a. Horus has placed for thee thine enemies under thee, health and wealth he has accounted for thee. 1857 b. He has cast down. 1857 c. This his eye. 1858, Horus has filled thee with his eye in its name of the Enduring One. 1859, N. 583. Horus delivered his eye from Set. He gave. 1859 plus 1. 1859 plus 2 in thy name of inundation. 1859 plus 3 like. 1859 plus 4. In thee. 1859 plus 5, thou art powerful over. 1859 plus 6 to thee. 1859 plus 7. 1859 plus 8. 1859 plus 9. To say, Osiris N. in thee. 1859 plus 10. 1859 plus 1. In, or, with, the eye. 49 The death of the king in his arrival in heaven. Utterance 659. Utterance 659. 1860 a. To say, he is assembled, this thy going. 1860 b. He is assembled, these thy goings. 1860 c. Are the goings of Horus in search of his father, Osiris. 1861 a. His messengers go, his runners hasten. 1861 b. His envoys rush on. 1862 a. Hasten to Ra, say to Ra, to him who lifts up his arm in the east. 1862 b. That he is coming as a god, that N. stands in the double ITR.T palace of the horizon. 1863 a. Thou hearest the words of Ra, as a god, as Horus Msti. 1863 b. I am thy brother, like Sopdu. 1864 a. Behold, he comes, behold, he comes. 1864 b. Behold, thy brother comes, behold, Mtienerdi comes. 1865 a. Thou recognizest him not, though thou spendest the night in his arms. 1865 b. Thy putrefaction being avoided. 1865 c. Like thy calf, like thy herdsman. 1866 a. Thou hast taken these thy white teeth of this Mn. 1866 b. They go around like an arrow, in their name of pharaoh. 1867 a. Thy leg of beef is in the nome of Abydos, thy LIII. His piece of meat is in the land of Nubia. 1867 b. Thou hast descended like the jackal of the south, like Anubis who is over, i.e. protects, the southern, ITR.T palace. 1868 a. Thou standest before the RDWR lake. 1868 b. Like Geb, at the head of his Ennead. 1869 a. Thou hast thy heart, thou hast thy Ka, N. 1869 b. Thou furnishest thy house, N. Thou fastenest thy door, N. L. Texts of miscellaneous contents. Utterances 660 to 669. Utterance 660. 1870 a. To say, Shu. Son of Adam is Osiris N. 1870 b. Thou art the great son of Adam, his eldest son. 1871 a. Adam has spit thee out of his mouth, in thy name of Shu. 1871 b. He said, Count my children, in thy name of upper MNS.T. 1872 a. O Shu, this is Osiris N. whom thou hast made to endure and to live. 1872b If thou livest, he lives, thou art Lord of the entire earth. Utterance 661. 1873a. To say, O Father N, take to thyself this thy liquid, the protected milk. 1873b Which is in the breasts of thy mother, Isis. 1873c Nephthys, give him thy hand. Utterance 662. 1874a O brilliant, brilliant, Khepri, Khepri. 1874b. Thou art on the way to N, N is on the way to thee. 1874c Thy life is on the way to N, the life of N is on the way to thee. 1875a O papyrus, going forth from WD.T. 1875b Thou art gone forth as N, N is gone forth as thou. 1875c N is strong through thine appearance. 1876a Appetite belongs to the breakfast of N. 1876b Plenty belongs to the supper of N. 1876c Hunger is not powerful in the life of N. 1876d Fire is far from N. 1877a N lives from thy plenty. 1877b N abounds in the abundance of thy food, O Ra, every day. 1877c Father N, arise. 1877d Take this thy first libation, coming out of Chemis. 1878a Let them who are in their graves, arise, let them undo their bandages. 1878b Shake off the sand from thy face. 1878c Raise thyself up, on thy left side, support thyself on thy right side, upright. 1879a Raise thy face, that thou mayest see that which I have done for thee. 1879b I am thy son, I am thine heir. 1880a I have hoed wheat, or spelt, for thee, I have tilled barley for thee. 1880b Barley for thy WG feast, wheat for thy yearly feast. 1881a The eye of Horus is offered to thee, it is young with thee, it is large with thee. 1881b O Lord of the house, thy hand is upon thy property. Utterance 663. 1882a 1. 1882a 2. Thy bread is for every day, I said to thee it is. 1822a I have said to thee, build thine arm before thee, Osiris. 1882b Thine ox red. 1882c Thy 1,000 of figs, thy 1,000 of jars of wine. 1882d Thy 1,000 of NBS fruit bread, thy 1,000 of b. 1883a Thy 1,000 of ground corn. Geb was begotten for thee. The name to thee. 1883b Hail, to thee, Father N. 1883c Thy water is to thee, thine inundation is to thee. 1883d Thy milk is to thee, in the asts, of thy mother Isis. Utterance 664. 1884, to say, O thou N. Greetings to thee N, to thee Osiris. 1885, I have come to take thee, I give thy heart to thee, I am thy servant. 1886a, to say, Osiris N, I am Isis, I have come, the beloved of the earth, to the place where thou dwellest. 1886b. I have come to set thy name in thee. 1887a, to say, in thine arms, he avenges thee. 1887b, he has shone beautifully upon thee, in thy name of horizon whence Ra goes forth. 1887c, thine arms have embraced him. He does not withdraw himself from thee. 1888, to S, A, Y, Osiris N, Joy, Ned. 1889, one have united thy limbs for thee, I have put thy heart in its place. 1890, Osiris N, in, or, as. 1891, Osiris, N. I have brought thy heart for thee into thy body, I have put it for thee, in, its place. 1892, he has need of thee ms. 1893, Osiris N, I am Horus, I have come to thee, for, or, concerning, that which he has done for thee. 1894, Osiris N, thou hast commanded, she, Rai, se thee up. 1895, Osiris N, Nut comes, protecting thee, she, Ha, S, embraced, thee. 1896, Nut, has, raised, thee, up. 1897, to say, Osiris N, I am Nut, born of this SNW. T. Palace, like thee. Chapter of Osiris N. Utterance 665. 1898a, to say, awake, awake, N, for me, thy son. 1898b, awake for me, Horus, ah, ake thou. 1899a, he lives, who lives, Osiris N, in this thy name of, he who is with the spirits. 1899b. Thou dawnest as Pi.W. 1899c, N, Jequier, 9719 plus 20. As spirit, chief of the living, as powerful, chief of the spirits. 1899d, Nt, Jequier, XXV 559. As the first star, he ate with him. 1899e, N, 719 plus 21. 0, N. Thou art thought in his palace. 1899f, Nt, Jequier, XXV 660. In thy name of, Arsur Duty. 1900a, N, Jequier, 9719 plus 21. I am, in thy hand like mud, I am, like, thousands. 1900b, Nt, Jequier, XXV 660. Thy hand carries thee to the imperishable stars. 1901a, O, N, rise up, from, sleep, distant one, transfigured, Horus N. 1901b, N, Jequier, 9719 plus 21. The great stand for thee, watchmen sit for thee. 1902a, Nt, Jequier, XXV 661 to 662. Like Horus, avenger of his father. The smell of the dim tree is to thee, thy, nose. 1902b, Nt, Jequier, XXV 662. The perfume, N, is, that of, the, I'm free, tree to thee, thy, nose. 1902c, N, Jequier, 9719 plus 22. Raise thyself up, N. Take to thyself these thy 4 nm.t pictures. 1902d, N, 9719 plus 22. Which have been filled for thee in the divine lake, take to thyself this thy nb.t scepter. 1902e, N, 9719 plus 22. Which thy mother Nekhbet has given thee. It shall not be taken away from its sheath. 1903a, equals, 1908a in Seath's order. Raise thyself up, N. 1903b, Nt, Jequier, XXV 663 to 664. Thou sayest thy regions, the Horite, also their great houses. 1903c, Nt. XXV 664, thou sayest thy regions, the Setite, also their great houses. 1904a, Nt. 15664. Thou hast released thy bands, like Horus who is in his house. 1904b, Nt. 664 to 665. Thou hast drawn thy bonds, like Set who is in N.T. 1905a, Nt. 66s. I have freed thee from HRTI, he lives on the hearts of men. 1905b, Nt. 665. One have not given, permitted, thee to return to the desert. 1906a, Nt. 665 to 666. Thou hast said, Hail, this my protector, like Isis. 1906b, Nt. 666. Greetings to thee, smnd.t.t, like Nephthys. 1906c, Nt. 666. Thou hast shaken the earth, thou hast brought an offering. 1906 D, NT, 666. Thou hast certainly escaped, evil. 1906 E, NT, 666-667. Thought comes to thee like a knife, he comes like Set. 1906 F, N, 9719 plus 24. He finds thee sitting upon thy throne of ebony. 1906 G, N, 9719 plus 24. Lycra, chief of the Ennead. 1907 A, N, Jequier, 9719 plus 24. Thou speakest to the spirits, thou hast united their heads. 1907 B, NT. Jequier, XXV 668. Thou hast brought their runners, thou livest in their hearts. 1907 C, NT, 668. Thou standest upon foot, C. 1907 D, NT, 668. Thou hast given thy name to the jackal, thou hast taken thy name to Pi.W. 1907 E, NT, 668. O N, thy great name is Tr.K. Utterance 665A. 1908 A, N, Jequier, 9719 plus 25. To say, raise thyself up, N. 1908 B, N, 9719 plus 25. Thy bones have been collected for thee, thy limbs have been assembled for thee. 1908 C, N, 9719 plus 25. Thy water comes forth from Elephantine. 1908 D, N, 9719 plus 25. Thy natron is in the temple, thou standest as chief of the ITR.T palaces. 1908 E, NT, Jequier, 18 730. As chief of the gods, lord of the jackals. 1909 A, NT, 18 730. Thy hand smites thine enemies, whom Anubis, chief of the temple, gave to thee. 1909 B, NT, 18 730. Thou art in his hand, N, as Horus, first of the Westerners. 1909 C, NT, 731. The Serra temple is open for thee. The double doors of the necropolis are open for thee. 1909 D, N, 719 plus 26. Thou findest thine abundance, which approaches thee. 1910 A, N, 9719 plus 26. Raise thyself up, N. 1910 B, N, 719 plus 26. For thy thousand of bread, thy thousand of beer, thy thousand of cattle, thy thousand of fowl. 1910 C, NT 18 732. Thy thousand of clothes, thy thousand of every kind of bag. 1911 to 1 NT 18 732. Thou hast come to the house of this N. Thou inheritest the leadership as Lord of the gods. 1911 to 2 NT 732. Thou givest commands, lit, commands words, to the Horus gods of the West, likewise to thee, great and mighty spirit. 1911, N, 9719 plus 27. Thou hast united with the dead in every place in which thou desirest to be. 1912 A, N, 719 plus 27. N, thou art powerful there. 1912 B, N, 719 plus 27. The gods command that thou protect thyself against the words of thine enemy. 1912 C, NT, 733. This N, like thee, sacrifices to Osiris on his throne. 1912 D, NT, 733-734. Thou followest the Horus gods of the West, thy spirit, being, chief of the gods. 1913-1 NT, 734. To say, O N, he lives, who lives, he lives, who lives. 1913 A, N. 719 plus 28. In thy name of Re-NTR.W. 1913 B, N, 719 plus 28. Thou dawnest as Pi.W. 1913 C, N. 719 plus 28. As a soul, chief of the living, as powerful, chief of the spirits. 1914 A. N. 719 plus 28. Thought is this N. 1914 A. N. 6709 plus 2. Together with you, O gods. 1914 B. NT. 735. Unite ye, O gods, who are in the temple. 1914 B. N. 709 plus 2. Offer a sacrifice with thy hand. 1914 C. NT. 735. This is this N, for whom, thou, Osiris, shalt open the 6 doors. 1914 C. N. 709 plus 2. Thou openest doors. 1914 D. NT. 735 to 736. Which hold Libya back. 1914 E. NT. 736. Offer a sacrifice with thy hand. 1914 F. NT. 736. Take 1,000 MW.W, lead the 9 bows. 1915 A. NT. 736. Grasp the hand of the imperishable stars. 1915 B. NT. 736-737. The great unite for thee, the watchers stand for thee. 1915 C. N. 719 plus 29. Also Horus avenges his father. 1916 to 1, N. 719 plus 29. O N. Great is sleep, it is great to sleep. 1916 to 2, N. 709 plus 4. This great one sleeps, he sleeps, wake up, raise thyself up. 1916 to 3, NT. 738. Great is thine odor, pleasant to the nose, the odor of I.TWT.T. 1916 A. NT. 738. O N. Thou hast collected thy bones, thou hast collected thy limbs. 1916 B. NT. 738 to 739, thou hast assigned, left in legacy, thy teeth, thou hast taken thy heart to thy body. 1917 NT. 739. Thou hast shaken the dust, lit. Earth, from thy flesh. 1918 N. 719 plus 30. Thou hast received this thy purification, these thy 4 B.T jars. Utterance 665 B. 1919 A. NT. 739. Draw fully from the divine lake, the lake in which, they, purify thee, as a god. 1919 B. N. 709 plus 6. Thou comest with them as an eye, thou dawnest, thou, comest, as, chief of the imperishable stars. 1919 C. NT. 740. Like Geb, chief of the corporation of the Ennead of Heliopolis. 1920 A. NT. 740. He gives commands to the gods. 1920 B. N. 720. He gives commands while sitting as a living god. 1921 to 1, NT. 741. Thou hast carried off the WRR.T crown, like a star, the unique. 1921 to 2, NT. 741. Its enemies are no more. Thy death is gone, from, thee. 1921 to 3, NT. 741. N. Says to Horus, to his father, Osiris. 1921 NT. 741. O N. Thine endurance says to thee, thy death is gone, from, thee. 1921 plus 1, NT. 742. Thy spirit consists in thy greatness, in thy respect. 1921 plus 2, NT. 742. In thy power, as a digger. In thy might. 1921 plus 3, NT. 742. O N. Thou hast thy spirit in thy body. 1921 plus 4, NT. 742 to 743. Thy spirit is behind thee, thy heart is in thy body. 1921 plus 5, NT, 743. Thy judgment is thy protection, like Horus who is in his house. 1921 plus 6 WT, 743. Thine evil is in thy wickedness, like Set who is in his NB.T city. 1922, NT, 743. Thou enterest when thy father Geb is protecting thee. 1922 plus 1, NT, 744. If, thy, father does not know thee, he is not alive. 1922 plus 2, NT. 744, if, thy, father calls thee, I.T, retreat, such is not thy name. 1922 plus 3, NT, 744. O.N., take the eye of Horus, thy hand is upon thy bread. 1922 plus 4, NT, 744. O.N., present thyself as thy bread. 1922 plus 5, NT, XLIX 745. Like as Horus presents it as his, I. 1922 plus 6, NT, 745. Thy name is that of an offering. 1922 plus 7, NT, 745. Thy WG feast is as this thy bread. 1923, NT, 745. Just as the WG feast is King Horus with his eye. 1924, NT, 745. Thy name is that of thy WG offering. 1924 plus 1, NT, 746. Raise thyself up to heaven together with the stars which are in heaven. 1924 plus 2, NT, 746. Throw down those who are before thee. Protect thyself from those who are behind thee. 1924 plus 3, NT, 746. Because of this thy name, which thy father Osiris made for thee, of Horus of the D.T. 1924 plus 4, NT, 747. Because they smite their B.S. star, and because they destroy him. 1925, NT, 747. Thou shalt smite them, because of their B.S. star, and thou shalt destroy them at the lake, at the sea, great green. 1926, NT, 747. Thou standest before the imperishable stars. 1926 A plus 1, NT, 747. Thou sittest upon thy firm throne, keeping the dead far from him. 1926 A plus 2, NT, 748. Thou who sayest the hacking up of the house, by 1926 A plus 3, N, 6709 plus 16. N, WTKNW. 1927 A, 1, NT, 749. O N, behold that which was done to thee. 1927 A, 2, N, 709 plus 16. King N, and not only to thee, but, behold, against thy foot. 192 7A, 3, NT, 750. It is not done on account of thee, nor on account of thy hand. 1927 A, NT. 750 to 751, protect thyself against NWTKNW. 1927 B, NT, XLIX 751. Behold the evil, which is done to thee, sleeper. 1927 C, NT, 752. The double doors of heaven are open for thee, the double doors of B.W are open for thee. 192 7 C plus 1, NT, 752. Thou goest forth through them like Pi.W. 192 7 C plus 2, NT, 753. The white crown upon thine arms like thought. 1927 C plus 3, NT, 753. Behold, their evil, goes forth like Set. 1927 C plus 4, NT, 753 to 754. He did thee damage, in thine eyes. 192 7 C plus 5, NT, 754. The Min T, stake, mourns, lit. calls, thee like Isis. 192 7c plus 6, n, 709 plus 18. The Min T, stake, mentions it to thee like Nephthys. 192 7c plus 7, n, 709 plus 18. Thou, dawnest on the RDWR lake. 1928a, nt, 755 to 756. Thou journeyest through thy regions of Horus. 1928b, nt, 756. Thou journeyest through thy regions of Set. 1928c, nt, 757. Like Min before the corporation of the Ennead. 1929, nt, 757. Thou hast opened the door of the house of him who is chief of his department, or, thy offering. 1930-1, nt, 758. O n, behold that which was done to thee. 1930-2, nt, 758. Thou hast been transfigured, thou hast not decayed. 1930-3, nt, XLIX 759. Guard thyself. It is thou who art strong as chief of thy door. 1930-4, nt, 759. Thy bread is for its year, thy morning bread is for its year. 1930-5, nt, 760. Thy bread, it is likewise for n, every day. 1930, nt, 760. O n. Thou knowest that also, without, i.e. not, being ignorant, that one may voyage from the boundary to thee. 1930+1, nt, 761. Whether not speaking, or speaking thy shoulder before thee, Osiris. Utterance 666. 1931-1, nt, Jequier, XLIX 761. To say, O n, pass, the great lake, even this, to the spirits. 1931-2, nt, 762. This water, n, to the dead. 1931-3, nt, 762. Guard thyself against these its people, whose house, home, is that bush. 1931a, nt, 762. The heavenly, d. T, in its name of dt.t. 1931b, nt, 762. Where they take not thy hand to that house, home, of the bush. 1932, nt, 763. He is a pyramid, he protects. 1932+1, nt, 763. He is the east, he is thy protector, he protects. A father, thy east, he is the easterner. 1933a, nt, 763. Go to d.wib, brother of seeker, whom he loves. 1933b, nt, 764. He will make a way for thee with them. 1933b+1, nt, 764. Where thou mayest eat bread with them. 1933b+2, nt, 764. Where thou mayest row the WD with them. 1933b+3, nt, 764. Where the sky trembles for thee, the earth quakes for thee. 1933b+4, nt, 764 to 765. And the imperishable stars come to thee. 1934a, nt, 763. And so, behold, he sees thy hand, at, the nbk.w feast, in, the marsh of reeds, or, at inundation time. 1934b, nt, 765. While thou, sittest upon thy firm throne. 1934c, nt, 765. And judgest with the two Enneads. Utterance 667. 1934+1, nt, Jequier, XXX 766. O n, take to thee thy head. 1934+2, nt, 766. To thee thy teeth, to thee thy hair. 1934 plus 3 NT 766. Thou hast opened the neighboring doors of the people, enduring for ever and ever. 1935 to 1 NT 766. ON. Thou goest forth, thy face towards the sea. 1935 to 2 NT 766. Thou sittest chief of the great ones, with thee. 1935 NT 767. Thou hast preserved the sky, thou hast caused the earth to tremble, thou hast protected the imperishable stars. 1936 A.N. 9730. I am come to thee, in secret places, seeking thee, even to heaven. 11936b NT 768. But, in the secret place, there is no spirit there. 1936b plus 1 NT 768. From the peace of heaven to the peace of earth. 1936b plus 2 NT 768. The peace of the two lords, Horus and Set, the peace of high heaven, the peace of peace. 11936b plus 3 NT 768. The mowing of corn is for thy WG feast. 11936b plus 4 NT 768. The NRI corn for thy year's livelihood, cf 1950b. Thy white bread, Anubis, for thy flat cakes and this its dough. 1936b plus 5 NT 768 to 769. Thy drink, first of the Westerners, thy warm bread. 1937 NT 769. N. R. Before the gods. 1938 A. NT 769. O. N. Raise thyself up. 1938 B. NT 769. Raise thyself from thy left side, put thyself, lit. Sit, on thy right side. 1938 B plus 1 NT 769. Sit thou on the seats of Ra. 1939 to 1 NT 769. Purify thy back, even to the vertebrae, let thy hand be upon thine altar. 1939 to 2 NT 770. Thy thousand of bread, thy thousand of beer, thy thousand of cattle, thy thousand of birds. 1939 to 3 NT 770. Thy thousand of all kinds of linen, thy thousand of everything which the god eats. 1939 to 4 NT 770. Thy thousand of clean things also within the dwelling. 1939 NT 771. That thou mayest eat the leg of meat, that thou mayest pass the cutlet over thy mouth, that thou mayest devour the double rib. 1939 plus 1 NT 771. At the place of slaughter for ever and ever. 1940 NT 771. O N, they defend thy name, with thee. 1940 plus 1 NT 771. Thou shalt not speak to them, crying out. 1940 plus 2 NT XXX 771. What, say they, is done to thee? 1940 plus 3 NT 772. By the throne it was done, sayest thou. 1940 plus 4 NT 772. SSS, his grave, ruling his brick, sayest thou. 1940 plus 5 NT 772. An offering of his cake, in the castle. 1940 plus 6 NT 772. Hail, he himself, i.e. she herself, the queen. 1941 A NT 772. O N, eat this for thyself alone. 1941 B NT 773. Thou shalt not give it to those people, these by thy side. 1946 plus 1 NT 773. O N, this hour of the morning, of this third day, is come. 1941 B plus 2 NT 773. When thou surely passest on to heaven, together with the stars, the imperishable stars. 1941 B+3, NT, 774. O.N., be it said to thee, in peace. 1942 A, NT, 774, thou art beautiful. Great is that which thy position does for thee as first of the Westerners. 1942 B, NT, 774. The seated one is put near the king. 1942 B+1, NT, 774 to 775. Thou choosest among the first of thy land those who will make thy halls. Utterance 667a. 1943 A, 1, NT, 775. To say, it is beautiful to see, it is peaceful to hear that Osiris stands at the door of the gods. 1943 A, 2, NT, 775. Thy sanctuary, N. 1943 A, 3, NT, 775. Is to thee as a heart of secret places. 1943 A, NT, 775 to 776. It opens for thee the double doors of heaven, it opens for thee the double doors of the way. 1943 B, NT, 776. It makes for thee a way, that thou mayest enter there among the gods. 1943 B+1, NT, 776. That thou mayest live as thy soul. 1944 A, NT, 776. O.N., thou art not like the dead, who art dead. 1944 A+1, NT, 776 to 777. Thou art living, thou art alive, together with them, the spirits, the imperishable stars. 1944 A+2, NT, 777. The time of inundation comes, the WG festival comes, to the uplands, it comes as Osiris. 1944 A+3, NT, 777. Horus is purified with the eye of his brother Set. 1944 A+4, NT, 777 to 778. Set is purified with the eye of his brother Horus. 1945 B, NT, 778. N is purified from every evil thing. 1945 C, N, X 736. The watchers of Horus are purified in his reed float. 1945 C+1, NT, 17487. Father Osiris dawned over the sea, upon his throne, named, brilliant, for him, like his spirit. 1946 A, 1, NT, XXX 779. He was warned against HRTI lest he be not given to Osiris, so. 1946 A, 2, NT, 779. There was opened for him the opposing door. 1946 A, 3, NT, 779. There was done for him that which was done, for him, as an only, unique, star without its equal. 1946 A, NT, 779. Among them, the gods, thou who sittest upon thy great seat. 1946 B, N, X 737. Thy bread is TWR, bread. Thy bread is in the broad hall, temple hall. 1947 A, N, X 737. The watchers dance for thee. 1947 B, NT, XXX 780. As the mourning women of Osiris call for thee. 1947 B+1, NT, 780. Raise thyself up, N. 11947 B+2, NT, 17489. Collect to thee thy bones. 1947 B+3, NT, XXX 781. Take to thee thy head. A command of the Ennead. 1947 B+4, NT, 17490. Sit thou for thy great bread. 1947 B+5, NT, XXX 781. Choose thou the leg of meat on the great place of slaughter. 1947 B+6, N, X 738. Let there be given to thee the double-ribbed piece on the place of slaughter of Osiris. 1948 A.N.T. 17490. O.N. Raise thyself up like Min. 1948 B.N. X 738. Thou fliest up to heaven, thou livest with them. 1948 C.N. X 738. Thou causest thy wings to grow. 1948 C+1 N.T. 17491. Thy feathers on thy head, thy feathers on thy two arms. 1948 C+2 N.T. XXX 782. Thou hast made the sky clear, thou givest light to them, like a god. 1948 C+3 N.T. 17491. Thou remainest chief of heaven like Horus of the D.T. Utterance 667b. 1948 C+4 N.T. 17491-492. Vigilant, is this eye of Horus, which he gave to Osiris. 1948 C+5 N.T. 492. He gave it to thee, that it may destroy thy face. 1948 C+6 N.T. 492 Smell. 1948 C+7 N.T. 492. This word of Horus is, for it, says Geb. Utterance 667c. 1949-1 N.T. XXX 783. To say, I am N, of secret places. 1949 N.T. 783. I ascend, as, thy good messenger from B.W. 1950 A. N. X 739. I have threshed the barley, I have reaped the spelt. 1950 B. N. 739. That thy livelihood may be secured thereby. 1950 C. N.T. 783. Thou ascendest, thou art complete, N. 1950 C+1 N.T. 784. Thou art powerful in. 1950 C+2 N.T. 784. I did not see thee, it is, thou who sayest me. 1951-1 N.T. 784. This great one has seen the face of that great one that seeing of two eyes. 1951-2 N.T. 784. I.W. who binds hair is his avenger. 1951 A. N.T. 785. He stands, like Horus, who is on the shores. 1951 B. N. X 740. His two sisters, at his side Isis and Nephthys. 1952 N.T. XXX 785. Raise thyself up, N. 1952+1 N.T. 785. Unite thy bones, collect thy limbs. 1952+2 N.T. 785-786, Raise thyself up, N. 1952+3 N.T. 786. Receive thy head. 1952+4 N.T. 786, Thy face, born of NWN.T. 1952+5 N.T. 786. Thy mother, who makes thee glad. 1952+6 N.T. 786. She cleanses thee like a papyrus roll of the flesh, skin, of MRW. 1953 A. N. XMI. Shoo, shoo, he passes by the walls. 1953 B. N. 741. He outdistances the walls. 1953 C. N.T. 787. N. is enclosed in secret places. 1954. 1955 A. 1 N.T. 787. When she does not pass you by, when she does not outdistance you. 1955 A. 2 N. 742. 1955 A. 3 N. 742 MW.T. 1955 A. N. 742. 4. 1955 B. N. 742. They pass by the walls, they outdistance the walls. 1955 c. N. 742. Thou, N., art enclosed in secret places. 1956, N. 742. 1956 plus 1, N. 742. 1956 plus 2, N. 742, NN.WT. 1957a, N. 742. Thy thousand of stone vessels. 1957b, N. 743. Thy thousand of all kinds of linen. 1957c, N. 743. Thy thousand of cattle, thy thousand of birds, thy thousand of all sweet things. 1958a, N. 743. That thou mayest carry thyself in a festive manner as a god. 1958b, N. 744, by the W. 1958b plus 1, N. 744, to PDWS. Utterance 668. 1959a, N. X 749. To say, N is the crying falcon, encircling the eye of Horus in the D.T. 1959b, N. 750. 1959b plus 1, N. 750, N. 1960a, 1, N. 750. N is a sacrificing falcon. 1960a, 2, N. 750. N has put you there. 1960a, N. 750. N goes to the eastern side of the sky. 1960b, N. 750. Where N was conceived, where N was born. Utterance 669. 1961a, to say, a prince ascends, a great burnt offering on the interior of the horizon. 1961b, he has seen the preparation of the feast, and the preparation of the firepan. 1961c. At the birth of the gods, on the 5 epigomenal days, who are before thee. 1961d, great his breast, thou who art before the BSTW.W. 1962a. 1962a plus 1, N. X 755, N. of his mother. TWT. 1962a plus 2, N. 755. He who was born, a double, in the nest, thought. 1962b, in the interior of the field of the tamarisk, at the source of the gods. 1963a, for N is my brother, proceeding from the thigh. 1963b. Who separated the two brothers, put apart the two fighters, who split your heads, O gods. 1964a of. 1964b, N. 756, her fillet, N. 1964c, N. 756. As NWRW, who is great among you, O gods, you who come to him, O gods. 1964d, as Isis said to Nun. 1965a, I have given birth to him for thee, I have deposited him for thee, one have certainly spit him out for thee. 1965b, he has no feet. He has no arms. 1965c, and how shall he be assembled? 1966a, then let this copper be brought, the NW boat, with it. 1966b, N. 756. Come ye, with him, nourished, with him in your arms, say they, the gods. 1966c, N. 756. Behold, he is born. 1966d, behold, he is assembled, behold he exists. 1967, wherewith shall we break that which appertains to his egg, say they, the gods. 1968a, let then seeker of PDW come. 1968b. That he may mold, smelt, his bones, that he may construct his skeleton. 1968c. 1968d, it is he who shall break the E.G.G., and, loose, the copper. 1969 A.N. 758. So that the two followers of the gods, with sharp teeth and long claws, may bring the god forth by his hands. 1969 B. Behold, N. exists, behold, N. is assembled. 1969 C. Behold, N. has broken his egg. 1970 A. Wherewith shall N. be caused to fly? 1970 B. N. 758 to 759. Then let there be brought to thee N.W. boat, built by M.W.N. 1970 C. That thou mayest fly therewith, that thou mayest fly therewith. 1970 D. N. 759. The south wind for thy foster mother, the north wind for thy nurse. 1971, N. flies, N. alights on the two wings, lit. Feathers, of his father, Geb. LIII. The death, resurrection, and spiritualization of the king. Utterance 670. Utterance 670. 1972, to say, the double doors of heaven are open, the double doors of the bows are open. 1973 A. The gods in Buto were filled with compassion, when they came to Osiris N. 1973 B. At the voice of weeping of Isis and at the lamentation of Nephthys. 1973 C. At the wailing of these two spirits. 1973 D. For this great one who comes forth, from the D.T. 1974 A. The souls of Buto dance for thee. 1974 B. They beat their flesh for thee, they hit their arms for thee. 1974 C. They dishevel their hair for thee. 1974 D. They smite their legs for thee. 1975 A. They say to thee, Osiris N., thou art gone, thou art come. 1975 B. Thou art asleep, thou art awake, thou art dead, lit. Thou landest, thou art alive. 1976 A. Stand up, see that which thy son has done for thee. 1976 B. Awake, hear, that which, Horus, has done for thee. 1977 A. He has beaten for thee him who beats thee, LIII, Kuanox. 1977 B. He has killed for thee him who kills thee, like a wild bull. 1977 C. He has bound for thee him who binds thee. 1977 D. He has put him under thy great daughter who is in DM. 1978 A. So that mourning ceased in the two ITR.T palaces of the gods. 1978 B. Osiris speaks to Horus. 1978 C. After he had exterminated the evil, which was in N, on, his fourth day. 1978 D. After he had annulled that which he did against him on his eighth day. 1979 A. Thou hast come forth, from the lake of life, thou art, purified, in the lake of, B.W. 1979 B. And art become Wepwawet, and thy son Horus conducts thee. 1979 C. When he has given to thee the gods, thine enemies, and thought has brought them to thee. 1980 A. How beautiful indeed is the sight, how agreeable is the view, the sight of Horus. 1980 B. In that he gave life to his father, in that he offered satisfaction to Osiris. 1980 C. Before the gods of the West. 1981 A. Thy libation is poured by Isis, Nephthys has purified thee. 1981 B. Thy two sisters, great and powerful, who collected thy flesh. 1981 C. Who bound together thy limbs, who made thy two eyes to appear in thy face. 11982 A. The boat of the evening and the boat of the morning. 1982 B. Adam has given to thee, and the two Enneads have made for thee. 1983 A. The children of thy child have raised thee up, perfect. 1983 B. Pi, ims.ti, dwmu.tf, bsn.w.f. 1983 C. Who made for thee, their names, into tt.y. 1983 D. Who washed thy face, who dried thy tears? 1983 E. Who opened thy mouth with their copper, or iron, fingers? 1984 A. Thou mountest towards the broad hall of Adam. 1984 B. Thou marchest towards the marsh of reeds. 1984 C. Thou voyagest over the places of the great God. 1985 A. To thee heaven is given, to thee the earth is given, to thee the marsh of reeds is given. 1985 B. By the two great gods who row thee over. 1985 C. Shu and Tefnut, the two great gods of Heliopolis. 1986 A. The awakening of the God, the rising of the God. 1986 B. For this spirit, who ascends from the D.T, even Osiris N, who ascends from Geb. LIII, texts of miscellaneous contents. Utterances 671 to 675. Utterance 671. 1987 A. To say, O N, thou art the son of a great one. 1987 B. Thou art purified in the lake, D.Ti. 1987 C. Thou takest thy throne in the marsh of reeds. Utterance 672. 1988 A. To say, the truth of Horus is the truth of this N, O N. 1988 B. Thou art come, N, clothed, thou comest vested. 1989 A. N. has inherited him who is not mourned any more, him who comes into being smiling. 1989 B. Greetings to the N. Thou comest in peace. Utterance 673. 1990 A. To say, O Father N. 1990 B. Thou comest, that is, thou hast come like a god, thou who art come, in boat, like B.W. 1991 A. Thy messengers hasten, thy runners run. 1991 B. They ascend to heaven. They announce Tura. 1992 A. That thou standest in the double ITR.T palace of the horizon, upon Shu of Nut. 1992 B. That thou art seated upon the throne of thy father, Geb, as chief of the ITR.T palace. 1992 C. Upon this throne of copper, or iron, the wonder of the gods. 1993 A. The two Enneads come to thee with salutations. 1993 B. Thou commandest men. 1993 C. Like Min, who is in his house, and like Horus of DB.WT. 1993 D. And Set was not free from bearing thy weight. Utterance 674. 1994 A. To say, I have come to thee, I am thy son, I have come to thee, I am Horus. 1994 B. I give to thee thy MDW staff before the spirits and thy NB. T scepter before the imperishable stars. 1995 A. I have found thee assembled, thy LIII. His face, like that of a jackal, thy LIII. His seat like that of B.WT. 1995 B. She refreshes thy heart in thy body, in the house of her LIII. Thy father Anubis. 1996 A. Be pure and sit at the head of those greater than thou. 1996 B. Thou art seated on thy firm throne, on the throne of the first of the Westerners. 1996 C. Thy steeds.W, they are young. 1997, SM&T salutes thee, like Isis. HN.T acclaims thee like Nephthys. 1998 A. Thou standest at the head of the SN.WT, of the double palace, like Min. 1998 B. Thou standest at the head of Egyptians, kilometer TIW, like AP. 1998 C. Thou standest at PDWS, like Seeker. 1999 A. Thou standest before the RDWR lake. 1999 B. Thou hast thy B scepter, thy wire, thy fingernails, which are at hand, lit. At thy fingers. 1999 C. Those who are before thought are slain with the knife, coming from Set. 1999 D. Thou givest thine arm to the dead, to the spirits, who will take thine arm to the first of the Westerners. Utterance 675. 2000 to say, O.N., come in peace, says Osiris to thee. 2000 b. Messenger of the great God, come in peace, says the great God to thee. 2001 a. The double doors of heaven are open for thee, the double doors of the D.W stars are open for thee. 2001 b. After thou art descended, into the grave, as the jackal of Upper Egypt. 2001 c. As Anubis on his belly side, as HPI.W who resides in Heliopolis. 2002 a. The great damsel who lives in Heliopolis has given her arm to thee. 2002 b. O.N. Thou hast, no, father, among men, who conceived thee. 2002 c. Thou hast no mother, among mankind, who bore thee. 2003 a. Thy mother is the great wild cow who lives in El Kab. 2003 b. The white crown, the royal headdress, she with the long feathers, hair, she with the two hanging breasts. 2003 c. She will nurse thee, she will not wean thee. 2004 a. Raise thyself up, n. Dress thyself in thy fringed vestment, the first, best, in the house. 2004 b. Thy D mace on thine arm, thy Horus weapon, M, in thy hand, thine M scepter on thine arm, thy D mace in thy hand. 2005 a. Thou standest as he who is chief of the double ITR.T palace, who judges the words of the gods. 2005 b. O.N. Thou belongest to the N.W, stars, when Ra shines behind the morning star. 2006 a. Lo, no god escapes from what he has said. 2006 b. He will offer thee thy 1,000 loaves of bread, thy sand mugs of beer, thy 1,000 of oxen, thy 1,000 of geese. 2006 c. Thy 1,000 of everything on which a god lives. LIII, Resurrection, Transfiguration, and Life of the King in Heaven. Utterance 676. Utterance 676. 2007 a. To say, thy water belongs to thee, thine abundance belongs to thee, thine efflux belongs to thee. 2007 b. Which issues from Osiris. 2008 a. Collect thy bones, arrange thy limbs. 2008 b. Shake off thy dust, untie thy bandages. 2009 a. The tomb is open for thee, the double doors of the coffin are undone for thee. 2009 b. The double doors of heaven are open for thee. 2009 c. Hail, says Isis, come, in peace, says Nephthys. 2009 d. When they see their brother at the feast of Adam. 2010 a. These thy libations, Osiris, are in Busiris, in grg.wb.f. 2010 b. Thy soul is in thy body, thy might is behind thee. Remain chief of, or, master of, thy powers. 2011 a. Raise thyself up, n. 2011 b. Travel over the southern regions, travel over the northern regions. 2011 c. Be thou powerful over the powers that are in thee. 2011 d. Thy spirits, the jackals, are given thee which Horus of Hierakonpolis has given to thee. 2012 a. Raise thyself up, n. Be seated on thy firm, or, copper, throne. 2012 b. Anubis, who is chief of the divine pavilion, SNTR, has commanded. 2012 c. Thy purification with thy 8 NMS.T jars and, thy, 8 B.T jars, which come from the SNTR. 2013 a. Thou art a god who supports the sky, who beautifies the earth. 2013 b. The SM&T woman laments for thee, the great Min T mourns for thee. 2014 a. Arms agitate for thee, feet tremble for thee. 2014 b. When thou ascendest as a star, as the morning star. 2014 c. He comes to thee, his father, he comes to thee, Geb. 2015 a. Take his hand, let him sit upon the great seat. 2015 b. Let him unite with the two empty lakes of B.W. 2015 C. Purify his mouth with natron on the lap of maturity. 2015 D. Purify his nails, upper and lower. 2016 Let one do for him what thou didst do for his brother, Osiris. On the day of counting the bones. 2016 B. Of making firm the sandals, of ferrying over the lake RDWR. 2017 A. To become the wise and the understanding. 2017 B. Thou art called to the southern ITR.T palace. 2017 C. To thee come, the gods of, the full northern ITR.T palace, with a salutation. LIII, texts of miscellaneous contents. Utterances 677 to 683. Utterance 677. 2018 A. To say, a great one is fallen on his side, he is up like a god. 2018 B. His scepter is with him, his white crown is upon him. 2019 A. N. Is fallen on his side, N. Is up like a god. 2019 B. His scepter is with him, his white crown is upon him, like the white crown of Ra. 2019 C. When he ascends in the horizon, and when he is greeted by Horus in the horizon. 2020 A. O. N. Raise thyself up. 2020 B. Receive thy dignity, which the two Enneads made for thee, e.g., conferred upon thee. 2021 A. Thou art on the throne of Osiris, in the place of the first of the Westerners. 2021 B. Thou hast taken his scepter. Thou hast carried off his great white crown. 2022 A. O. N. How beautiful is this, how great is this which thy father, Osiris, has done for thee. 2022 B. He gave thee his throne. 2023 A. That thou mayest rule those of secret places, that thou mayest lead their venerable ones. 2023 B. And that all the glorified ones may follow thee in this their name of secret places. 2024 A. O. N. Thou art happy, thou art proud. 2024 B. Thou art an Adam, thou wilt not depart from his destiny. 2025 A. Ra calls thee, in thy name of him whom all the glorified ones fear. 2025 B. Thy dread is in the hearts of the gods, like the dread of Ra of the horizon. 2026 A. O. N. Who keeps secret his form, like Anubis on his belly. 2026 B. Receive thy face of a jackal, raise thyself up, stand up. 2027 A. Sit down to thy 1,000 loaves of bread, thy 1,000 mugs of beer, thy 1,000 of oxen, thy 1,000 of geese. 2027 B. Thy 1,000 of every good thing whereon a god lives. 2028 A. O. N. Pure one, Ra, finds thee standing with thy mother nut. 2028 B. She leads thee on the ways of the horizon. 2028 C. Where thou makest thine abode. How beautiful it is, to be, with thy Ka, for ever and ever. Utterance 678. 2029 A. To say, Imti, St. 2029 B. Do not hearken to N, do not listen to N. 2029 C. Do not demand the magic of N. 2029 D. Do not ask for the magic of N from N. 2030 A. Thou hast thy magic, N has his magic. 2030 B. May N not break thy pen, may he not crack thy palate. 2030 C. May N have his offering. Utterance 679. 2031 A. To say, thy water belongs to thee, thine efflux belongs to thee, thine inundation belongs to thee. 2031 B. Issuing from Osiris. 2032 A. Thou makest them D like Horus, thou openest them like Wepwawet. 2032 B. For thou art the WR, the eldest son. Utterance 680. 2033, to say, Osiris N, take to thee the eye of Horus, it is thine. Utterance 681. 2034 A. To say, Great Heaven, give thy hand to N. 2034 B. Great Nut, give thy hand to N. 2034 C. It is N. Thy divine falcon. 2035a, N, is come, he ascends to heaven, N opens B.W. 2035b, N greets his father, Ra. 2036a, he crowned him as a Horus, in which form, N, comes. 2036b, he gives to N 2 real crowns. 2036c, and, he establishes for N his 2 divine eyes. 2037a, N, ascends to him, great, as Horus of the sky, at the zenith of heaven. 2037b, he who smites the crowns of the north, who gives commands to the WTN.W. 2038a, N, is followed by the FTI.W. 2038b. Those in heaven and on earth come to him with salutations. 2038c, as well as jackals, as, lit. In, place of, Setite spirits. 2038d, superiors and inferiors. 2039, he is anointed with perfume, clothed with PT, living on offerings. 2040a, N. Commands, N, confers distinctions. 2040b, N, awards places. 2040c, N, makes offerings, N, conducts the presentations. 2041, it is N, is the one of heaven, he exercises power before Nut. Utterance 682. 2042a. To say, greetings to thee from Seeker, N. 2042b, thy face is washed by DWWR. 2042c, N flies as a cloud, or, high, like a divine falcon. 2042d, N is cool like the heron, N flies low, like a SM goose. 2043a, the wings of N are like those of a divine falcon. 2043b, the tips of the wings of N are like those of a divine falcon. 2043c, the bones of N are fastened together, N is purified. 2044a, the fillet of N is at his back, the bodice of N is upon him. 2044b, his girdle is of SNP. 2045a, N descends with Ra into his great boat. 2045b, in which he transports him to the horizon to judge the gods with him. 2046a, Horus voyages in it with him to the horizon. 2046b, N judges the gods with him in the horizon. 2046c, for N is one of them. Utterance 683. 2047a, to say, behold, this, is what they said to N, what the gods said to N. 2047b, the word of the gods is fallen upon N. 2047c. It is Horus, who comes forth from the Nile, it is the bull, which comes forth from the fortress. 2047d, it is the D.T serpent which comes forth from Ra, it is the IR.T serpent which comes forth from Set. 2048a. Everything which will happen to N happens likewise to MDD.T it. 2048b, daughter of Ra, who is on his 2 legs. 2048c, everything which happens to N happens likewise to MD. 2048d, daughter of Ra, who is on his 2 legs. 2049, for N is WD, son of WD, who comes forth from WDT. 2050a, N is intact, as true as, the eye of Horus is intact in Heliopolis. 2050b, N lives, as true as, the eye of Horus lives in Heliopolis. LV. The deceased king ascends to heaven. Utterance 684. Utterance 684. 2051a, to say, N ascended at thy ascension, Osiris. 2051b, N has spoken, with his Ka in heaven. 2051c, the bones of N are firm, or copper, and the limbs of N. 2051d. Are like the stars, the imperishable stars. 2052a, given that N be encompassed, then a great one falls into the hands of N. 2052b, the mother of N is Nut. 2053a, the father of N is Shu, the mother of N is Tefnut. 2053b They take n. To heaven on the smoke of incense. 2054, n is purified, n lives, n makes his seat like Osiris. 2055a, n sits at thy side, lit. Shoulder, Osiris, n spits on thy hair, Osiris. 2055b He will not let him become diseased, n will not permit him to be bald. 2055c At the mouth of n daily, at the beginnings of the feast of the half months, at the beginnings of the feast of the months. 2056a n sits at thy side, lit. Shoulder, Horus, n spits on thy hair, Horus. 2056b He will not let it become diseased, n will not permit himself to be bald. 2056c At the mouth of n daily, at the beginnings of the feast of the half months, at the beginnings or the feast of the months. 2057 n is one of these four beings, sons of Adam, sons of Nut. 2058a Who do not rot, n does not rot. 2058b Who do not decay, n does not decay. 2058c Who do not fall upon earth from heaven. 2058d n does not fall upon the earth from heaven. 2059a n was sought, n is found with them. 2059b n is one of them, praised by the bull of heaven. 2060 n makes his ka arise, n returns, n strides. 2061a The good companion makes his ka arise, returns, strides. 2061b n rests at home, on the under side of the body of the sky, like a nfr.t star. 2061c At the meanderings of the winding watercourse. 2062a When n ascends to heaven, give him this formula, Ra is good each day. 2062b n put himself on thy way, Horus of SSM.T, on which thou leadest the gods. 2062c To the beautiful ways of heaven and of the marsh of offerings. LVIII Texts of miscellaneous contents. Utterances 685 to 689. Utterance 685. 2063a To say, the waters of life which are in the sky, the waters of life which are in the earth come. 2063b The sky burns for thee, the earth trembles for thee, before the birth of the God. 2064a The two mountains divide, a God comes into being, the God has power over his body. 2064b The two mountains divide, n comes into being, n has power over his body. 2065a Behold n, his feet shall be kissed by the pure waters. 2065b Which come into being through Adam, which the phallus of Shu makes, which the vulva of Tefnut brings into being. 2066a They have come to thee, they have brought to thee the pure waters which issue from their father. 2066b They purify thee, they fumigate thee, n, with incense. 2067a Thou liftest up the sky with thy hand, thou treadest, lit. Layest, down the earth with thy foot. 2067b A libation is poured out at the gate of N, the face of every god is washed. 2068a Thou washest thine arms, Osiris, thou washest thine arms N. 2068b Thy rejuvenescence is a god. Your third is a WD offering. 2068c The perfume of an I.twt.t serpent is on N. 2069a A BNBN bread is in the house of Seeker, a leg of meat is in the house of Anubis. 2069b N is intact, the ITR.T palace is standing, the month, i.e. the moon, is born, the gnome lives. 2070a Which measurements have traced. Thou tilliest the barley, thou tilliest the spelt. 2070b With which N will be presented forever. Utterance 686. 2071a To say, Horus has ointment, Set has ointment. 2071b Horus has taken his eye, he has taken it away from his enemies. 2071c without set being a gainer thereby. 2072a, Horus fills himself with ointment. 2072b, Horus is satisfied with his eye, Horus is furnished with his SW.T plant. 2072c, the eye of Horus is united with him, its perfume belongs to him. 2072d, its anger falls upon his enemies. 2073a, N has ointment, N fills himself with it. 2073b, its perfume unites with him. 2073c, its anger falls upon his enemies. Utterance 687. 2074a, to say, O N, I have come, I have brought the eye of Horus which is in its heat. 2074b, its perfume belongs to thee, N. 2075a, its perfume belongs to thee, the perfume of the eye of Horus belongs to thee, N. 2075b. Thou art a B.A. thereby, thou art a M. thereby, thou art honored thereby. 2075c, thou conquerest the WRR.T crown thereby, among the gods. 2076a, Horus comes rejoicing at thy approach. 2076b. As he rejoices at the approach of his eye which is upon thee. 2076c, behold N, who is before the gods, equipped as a god, his bones assembled, is like Osiris. 2077a, the gods do homage at the approach of N. 2077b. As the gods do homage at the approach of the dawning of Ra, when he ascends in the horizon. Utterance 688. 2078a, to say, these four grandsons stand up for N. 2078b, ims.ti, pi, dwmu.t.f, bsn.w.f. 2078c. The offspring of Horus of Letopolis. 2079, they bind a ladder for N. 2079b, they make firm a ladder for N. 2079c, they cause N to ascend to Khepri. 2079d, he who exists on the eastern side of the sky. 2080a, its rungs are hewn by. 2080b, the ropes which are on it are made solid. 2080c, by means of sinews of GW.Ti, the bull of heaven. 2080d, the uprights at its sides are fastened. 2080e, like the skin of MIWT, son of S.T. 2080f. The supporter of the Great One, is set under it by PWR.T. 2081a, cause ye the Ka of N, to ascend to the God. 2081b, lead ye him to the two lions, cause him to ascend to Adam. 2082a, Adam has done that which he said he would do for N. 2082b. 4, he binds the ladder for him, he makes the ladder firm for N. 2082c, thus, N, is removed from the horror of mankind. 2082d, the arms of N are not a horror to the gods. 2083a, N has not eaten the D3s plant. 2083b, N has not chewed BD goose on the first of the month. 2083c, he has not slept during the night, though, he did not keep watch. 2083d, he ignores his body in one of these 2 seasons of Khepri. 2084a, the inhabitants of the D.T. have counted their bodies. 2084b, they opened their ears, to the voice of N. 2084c, when he descends among them. 2085a, heavy is his scepter, has said to them. 2085b, that N is one of them. 2085c, the might of N is among them like, great mighty one, who will lead to the great west. 2086a, the dignity of N is great in the house of the two lions. 2086b, for the wrong which appertains to N is driven off by him who drives off evil, Idris.T. 2086c. From before Mtiurti in Letopolis. Utterance 689. 2087a, to say, Geb has raised the eye of Horus, which is K, or K.T. 2087b, which is over his great Cas, which is first of his ordinary Cas. 2088a. Thy head, O eye of Horus, is given, to thee, that thou mayest see Horus who has cause to sit. 2088b, so that the judgment may take place. 2089a, Isis comes, she has laid hold of her breasts for her son Horus, justified. 2089b, n. has found the eye of Horus. 2090a, thou, who has found that eye of Horus. 2090b, to which its head is given, for which a front is made, like the forehead of Ra, furious like a crocodile. 2090c. Thou hast followed the eye of Horus to heaven, to the D.W stars of the sky. 2090d, go thou, as one who shall row Horus, with his eye. 2091a, O Shu, thou who bearest up Nut. 2091b, thou hast borne up the eye of Horus to heaven, to the D.W stars of the sky. 2091c, because Horus sits upon his firm, or, copper, or, brilliant, throne. 2091d, go thou, as one who shall row Horus, with his eye. LVII, a series of addresses to the deceased king as a god. Utterance 690. Utterance 690. 2092a, to say, wake up, Osiris, let the weary god awake. 2092b, the god stands up, the god is powerful over his body. 2093a, wake up, n. Let the weary god awake. 2093b, the god stands up, the god is powerful over his body. 2094a, Horus stands up, he clothes N with linen him who came forth from him. 2094b, N is equipped as a god, standing in the Pr. palace, sitting with the two Enneads. 2095a, O N, stand up, come in peace, says Ra to thee, messenger of the great God. 2095b, thou goest to heaven, thou goest forth through the doors of the horizon. 2096a, Geb sends thee. Thou art a soul like a god, respected like a god. 2096b, thou art powerful, over thy body, like a god. 2096c, like Ba, chief of the living. 2096d, like M, chief of spirits. 2097a, N, comes, he is equipped like a god. His bones are assembled like Osiris. 2097b, he comes behind his Urias. 2097c, thou hast come, O N, out of Heliopolis, thou art avenged, thy heart is placed in thy body. 2098a, thy face is like that of a jackal. Thy flesh is like that of Adam. 2098b, thy B is in thy body, thy M is behind thee, Isis is before thee, Nephthys is behind thee. 2099a, thou journeyest through the regions of Horus, thou travellest through the regions of Set. 2099b. It is Shu and Tefnut who lead thee, when thou ascendest from Heliopolis. 2100a, O N, Horus has woven his tent over thy head. 2100b, Set has stretched out thy canopy. 2100c, be enclosed, O Father, by the divine tent. Thou art brought there in thy beloved places. 2101a, O N, Horus comes to thee provided with his souls. 2101b, Pi, dwmw.tf, ims.ti, bsn.w.f. 2102a. They bring to thee thy name of imperishable. 2102b, thou perishest not. Thou deest not. 2103a, O N, thy sister B.WT has purified thee. 2103b, in RDWR chief of the lakes. 2103c, thou appearest to them like a jackal, like Horus chief of the living. 2103d. Like Geb chief of the Ennead, like Osiris chief of spirits. 2104, thou commandest spirits, thou leadest the imperishable stars. 2105a, the evil of Osiris, the evil of N, the evil of the bull of the two Enneads. 2105b. The god is loosed from it, N has power over his body. 2105c, N is loosed from it, N has power over his body. 2106a, O N, Horus, is standing, he glorifies thee. 2106b, he conducts thee, when thou ascendest to heaven. 2107a. Thy mother nut receives thee, she lays hold of thine arm. 2107b, that thou mayest not be in need, that thou mayest not moan, like a cedar. 2107c, but, that thou mayest live like the Coleoptera, lives, and endure in, Mendes. 2108a, on. Thou art adorned like a god, thy face is like, that of, a jackal, as Osiris. 2108b, that soul in D.T., that mighty one in the great city. 2109, the sky trembles, the earth quakes before the god, before N. 2110a, N. Is not enveloped, by the earth. 2110b, I.twt.t, thou art not enveloped by the earth. 2110c, thy fame is by day, thy fear is by night, as a god, lord of Ephyr. 2110d, thou commandest the gods like the mighty one, chief of the mighty. 2111. O Osiris, the overflow comes, the inundation hastens, Geb groans. 2112a, I have pitied thee with pity, I have smitten him who acted with evil, intent, against thee. 2112b. That thou mayest live, that thou mayest raise thyself up because of thy strength. 2113, on, the inundation comes one, the overflow hastens, Geb, groans. 2114a, exult in the divine efflux which is in thee, let thy heart live. 214b. Thy divine limbs are in good condition, loosen thy bindings. 2115a, Horus comes to thee, N, he does for thee that which he did for his father Osiris. 2115b. That thou mayest live like unto the life of those in heaven, and, that thou mayest come into being, more, truly, than those who are on earth. 2116a, raise thyself up because of thy strength, ascend thou to heaven. 2116b. The sky bears thee like S3, thou hast power over thy body. 2116c, thou defendest thyself against thine enemy. 2117, on. I have wept for thee, I have mourned for thee. 2118a, I shall not forget thee. My heart will not weary to give thee offerings every day. 2118b, at the feast of the month, at the feast of the half-month, at the feast of covering the fire pan, at the feast of thought, at the WG feast. 2118c. At the feast of slaughtering, at the feast of thy years, at the feast of thy birth, at the beginnings of thy months, during which thou livest as a god. 2119, on, may thy body be clothed, that thou mayest come to me. LVII, texts of miscellaneous contents. Utterances 691 to 704. Utterance 691. 2120a, NT, XXXII 819. To say, O my Father, O Ra, concerning these things which thou hast said. 2120b, NT, 819. O that I had a son who is glorified, who dawns, who is a soul, is honored, is mighty. 2120c, NT, 820. Whose arm is stretched out, whose stride is wide. 2121a, NT, 820. Behold me, I am thy son, behold I am N. 2121b, NT, 820 to 821. I am glorified, I dawn, or, am crowned, I am a soul, I am honored, I am mighty. 2121c, NT, 821. Mine arm is stretched out, my stride is wide. 2122a, on, he is purified. 2122b, NT, 821 to 822. I take the rudder, I am glad of my seat on the shoulder of the sky. 2122c, N voyages on the shoulder of the sky. 2122d, N directs his rudder on the shoulder of the sky. 2123a. O my Father, O Ra, concerning these things which thou hast said. 2123 B. Oh, that I had a son who is glorified, who dawns, who is a soul, is honored, is mighty. 2123 C. Whose arm is stretched out, whose stride is wide. 2124 A. Behold me, I am thy son, behold I am N. 2124 B. I am glorified, I dawn, or, am crowned, I am a soul, I am honored, I am mighty. 2125 A. I am purified. 2125 B. NT, 825. I take my rudder, I am glad of my seat in company with the Ennead. 2125 C. NT. 826, I voyage with the Ennead. 2125 D. NT, 826. I direct my rudder in company with the Ennead. Utterance 691a. 2126a, 1, NT, Jequier, XXXII 826. To say, the two reed floats of heaven are placed for Ra. 2126a, 2, NT, 826 to 827. The two reed floats of heaven are placed for Ra. 212.6a, 3, NT, 827. That he may be high from east to west at the side of his brothers, the gods. 212.6a, 4, NT, 827 to 828. His brother is, his sister is Sothis. 2126a, 5, NT, 828. He is seated between them above, lit. In this earth forever. 212.6a, 6, NT, 828. The two reed floats of heaven are placed for this N. 2126a, NT, 828 to 829. The two reed floats of heaven are placed for this N. 212.6b, NT, 829. That she, lit. He, may be high from east to west at the side of her, lit. His, brothers, the gods. 2126b plus 1, NT, 829. Her, lit. His, brother is her, lit. His, sister is Sothis. 212.6b plus 2, NT, 830. She, lit. He, is seated between them above, lit. In, this earth forever. Utterance 691b. 2127a, 1, NT, Jequier, XXXII 830. Awake, awake, Father Osiris. 2127a, 2, NT 830. I am thy son, who loves thee, I am thy son, who loves thee. 2127a, NT 831. Behold me, enter, I am come, I have brought to thee that which he carried off belonging to thee. 2127b, NT, SP. He rejoiced over thee, he exulted, over thee. 2127b plus 1, NT, 832. Set exulted over thee, at the side of thy two mourning sisters. 2127b plus 2, NT, 83 2. The two sisters who love thee, Isis and Nephthys, they are pleasing to thee. 2127b plus 3, NT, 883. Thou shalt not pass me by, for I am entrusting myself to thee. 2127b plus 4, NT, 833. Thou shalt not pass by the bread of judgment, thou shalt be satisfied with RMIPR.F. 2128a, 1, NT, 833 to 834. I have rode, thee, as set, like Geb. 212.8a, NT, 834. Like the remains, of a corpse, in, jars of viscera. 2128b, NT, 834. Thy forepart being like that of a jackal, thy hinder part like B.WT. 2128b plus 1, NT, 834. It is clear that thou receivest a man of God. 212.8b plus 2, NT, 83 5. One have plowed barley, I have reaped the spelt. 2128b plus 3, NT. 835, which I have done, given, for thy years, festivals. 212 8b plus 4, nt 83 5. Awake, awake, Father, for this thy bread. Utterance 691 c. 2129 to 1, n. Jequir, 11 1011, n. He. 2129 to 2, n. 1011, m. 2129, n. 1011 to 1012, the might of n. 2129 plus 1, n. 1012, they see. 2129 plus 2, n. 1012. 2129 plus 3, n. 1012. The throne of n. m. 2129 plus 4, n. 1012. This n. On the head of r. dm. 2129 plus 5, n. 1012, m. 2130, n. 1012 to 1013, in heaven strong. 2130 plus 1, n. 1013, m. s. 2130 plus 2, n. 1013. n. 2130 plus 3, n. 1013, he smote, with the B scepter, he led with the I.T scepter. 2130 plus 4, n. 1013. This n. with a voice. 2130 plus 5, n. 1013. Not. 2131, n. 1013 to 1014. His names. 2131 plus 1, n. 1014. 2131 plus 2, n. 1014. RW. 2131 plus 3, n. 1014. With braids of hair. 2131 plus 4, n. 1014. 2131 plus 5, n. 1014. Praise was given, rejoicing. 2132, n. 1014 to 1015. Geb. 2132 plus 1, n. Jequir, 11 1015. 2132 plus 2, n. 1015. His two arms guarded before n. 2132 plus 3, n. 1015. 2132 plus 4, n. 1015. SR. 2132 plus 5, n. 1015. N. Shines. 2133, n. 1015 to 1016. 2133 plus 1, n. 1016. 2133 plus 2, n. 1016, n. Purified in. 2133 plus 3, n. 1016. Comes as his soul INW. 2133 plus 4, n. 1016, n. He withdraws by it. 2134, n. 1016. The hand of n. took. 2135, n. 1016 plus 1. 2136, n. 1016 plus 1. N. The northern way of the boat of the morning sun. 2136 plus 1, n. 1016 plus 1. Harakti commanded the, n. pw.tntr. 2136 plus 2, n. 1016 plus 1. Kepri, gods, clothes laid aside. 2136 plus 3, n. 1016 plus 2. 2136 plus 4, n. 1016 plus 2, Lake of the Jackals. 2136 plus 5, n. Jequir, 11 1016 plus 2. N. Sat, dw, mw.tf. 2136 plus 6, n. 1016 plus 2. dwmw.tf. Utterance 692. 2137. 2138, I in. Utterance 693. 2139a, n. Jequir, 12 1021. To say, Awa, Ku Tn.K M 2139 B N 1021 2140 A N 1022. The bows bend their head to thee, go, ing, from thee between. 2140 B N 1022 2141 A N 1023. The gods rejoiced, exult. 2141 A plus 1 N 1923, he sees. 2141 B N 1023 to 1024. Geb, Prince of the Gods. 2142 A N 1024. He has taken the heritage, he has carried off. 2142 B N 1024. N 2143 A N 1025. Equip thyself with his white crown, eat bread. 2143 B N Jequir 12:10-25. Y th a presentation. Utterance 694. 2144 A N Jequir 12:10-28-1029. Says Isis, I have found him, says Nephthys. 2144 B N 1029. When they saw Osiris on his side on the shore of Ndi.T. 2145 A N 1029. Rise up. 2145 B N 1029-1030. My brother, I sought thee. 2145 C N 1030. Raise thyself up, spirit. Geb said. 2145 D N 1030. I have smitten the ENN-EAD. 2146 A for thy father Adam. 2146 B that he may cause thee to be, on, than T-ocean among the gods. 2146 C as the great one who is before. 2146 D. 2147 A those who are in none come to thee, mankind, the blessed dead, circulate for thee. 2147 B thou art like Horus. 2148 A with him, in thy time. 2148 B thine annual offerings are made with him, in his hour. 2148 C by order of. 2149 A. 2149 B the way of N is open for N, the way of N is made, prepared. 2150 A. N. 2150 B chief of the two lands. 2150 C N is thought chief of heaven, N is Anubis chief of the house. 2151 A it was brought, open. 2151 B. To N, before N. 2152 A. He is the bittern, D-bird, which comes from the marsh. 2152 B. 2153 A. 2153 B. Who is in TNW of the four TNW, depart from N. 2154 A N. 2154 B N. 2154 C pure is the tongue which is in the mouth of N. 2155 A protect N. 2155 A plus 1 N Jequir 12:10-38. N. 2155 B that N may not be upside down. 2156 A N is the bull. 2156 B N is the bull. 2156 C 3 in heaven, 2 on earth. Utterance 695. 2157 A. To say, the diadem comes into being, inundated, T.I. 2157 B, T.M. 2158 A, seat thyself on the throne of Ra, which Horus, removed to the south of the sky. 2158 B removed, F. 2158 C he removed the secret, places, of the 9, bows. 2159 A, N is seated. 2159 A plus 1, N, Jequir, 12:10-42, N.FNB. 2159 B, N. Upon the sky. 2159 C the two hands of N are on Heliopolis. 2160A, road Y, N. 2160B, IR.S. 2160B plus 1, N, 1044. The head of N is above, the legs of N are below. 2161A, N. 2161B, more long than wide. 2161B plus 1, N, 1045. Behold N, SWT. 2162A, SSM. 2162B, like to her following of set, like to her full, owing. 2162C. M, I. Utterance 696. 2163A, N, Jequier, 12-1047. O, strong one, jackal, D, bring these to, this, N. 2163B, bring with these to N. 2163C, N, 1048. Messenger of Adam, O N. With linen of T, I.T. 2164A. 2164B, N, 1049. O. O. Come, O. O. Come, bring these to N. 2165A, bring with, these, to N. 2165B, lift him up. 2165B plus 1, N, 1050. Messenger of Adam, O N, with linen of T, I.T. 2166A, the eye of Horus there. 2166B, N, 10511. Hurry against the fingers of Set. 2166B plus 1, N, 1951. D, or, WD, in, FMS. 21607A, N, 1051-1052, N. Birth in Peace. 2167B, N, 1052. The two hands of N to the heart. 2168, N, 1053. Raise thyself up N, TSI. 2168 plus 1, N, 1054. N, raised himself up in this night. 2168 plus 2, N, 1055. N these of N. 2168 plus 3, N, 1055 plus 1 to 1055 plus 2. TM. Belonging to the God. 2168 plus 4, N, 1055 plus 2. ON. 2168 plus 5, N, 1055 plus 3. 63, I'm N.N. 2168 plus 6, N. 1055 plus 5, he, Avon. Following 2168 plus 6, there are in N, Jequier, 12, 8 additional columns, 1055 plus 5 to 1055 plus 12, the text of which is entirely destroyed. Utterance 697. 2169a, to say, O.N. The mouth of the earth opens for thee, Geb speaks to thee. 2169b, thou art great like a king, thou art mighty like Ra. 2170a, thou purifiest thyself in the lake of the jackal, thou cleansest thyself in the lake of the DT. 2170b. Come in peace, say the two Enneads to thee. 2170c, the eastern door of heaven is opened for thee by, in KM. 2171a. Nut has given her arms to thee, N, she of the long hair, she of the hanging breasts. 2171b. She lifts thee high to herself to heaven, she did not cast N down to the earth. 2172a, she gives thee birth, N, like SH. 2172b, she makes thee remain as chief of the two ITR.T palaces. 2172c. N. Descends into the boat like Ra, on the shores, of the winding watercourse. 2173a, N is transported by the indefatigables. 2173b, N, commands the imperishable stars. 2173c, N is transported on the ocean. 2173d, N. Takes the helm to the fields of. 2174a, thy messengers go, thy runners hasten. 2174b, they say to Ra, behold, N, is come, behold, N, is come in peace. 2175a, do not go by these watercourses of the west. 2175b. Those who go there, they do not come back. 2175c, go thou, N, by these watercourses of the east. 2175d, among the followers of Ra. 2175e, him who lifts up the arm in the east. 2175f. Utterance 698. This cannot be the beginning of this utterance. 2176a plus 1, N, 1300. N, N, PW. 217 6a plus 2, N, 1309. MDSNTR.WM. 2177a, N, 1309. Ski. 2177b, N, 1309 to 1310. Flesh, protect thyself, give way from behind N. Utterance 699. 2178a. 2178b, Anubis, he lays hold of thine arm, Nut, she gives to thee thy heart. 2179a. Thou fleest cloud-like as a falcon, thou drawest thyself out of the water like a NWR bird. 2179b, thou goest towards the west. 2180a. 2180b, thou livest, thou livest. Thou art young, thou art young. 2180c, to the side of thy father, to the side of, to heaven. 2181a, thou livest. 2181b. 2181c. Utterance 700. 2182a. To say, Father N. 2182b, raise thyself up on thy right side, support thyself on thy left side. 2182c, thy flesh has been collected for thee. 2182d. 2183a. With which thou art pure as a god. 2183b, the messengers of Ra, come forth for thee, the imperishable stars take thine arm. 2183c, thou, deest not. 2184a. 2184b, like Anubis, who is in TB.T. 2185a, thy WG, offering, is of bread, WG is like the eye of Horus. 2185b, in, his, name of, WG- offering. 2185c. Thy presentation. 2185d. 2186a, thine enemies are destroyed, they perish. 2186b, they foam in opposing thee, throw them in the lake, throw them in the sea. 2187a. Men come to thee. 2187b. 2187c. Utterance 701. 2188a, to say, the Great One is fallen in D.T, Isis is loosed from her burden, Tn. 2188b. Raise thyself up, thou who art in NTRW, raise thyself up. 2189a. 2189b, the god is loosed. 2190a, Horus comes forth from Chemis. 2190b, Buto arises for Horus. He purifies himself there. 2191a, Horus comes purified, that he may avenge, his father. 2191b. 2192a, I am thy sister, who loves thee, says Isis, says Nephthys. 2192b, they weep for thee. They awake for thee. 2193a, O N, raise, thyself, up. 2193b. 2194a. 2194b. Receive, thy 1,000, loaves, of bread, thy 1,000, mugs, of beer, thy 1,000 cattle, thy 1,000 geese. 2194c, a roast, a double-rib piece from the slaughtering bench of the god, the great bread and the RT bread from the broad hull. 2195a, provide thyself, N, with. 2195b. 2196a, thou hast thy WRR.T crown, the WRR.T crown is on thy head. 2196b, thou hast taken the WRR.T crown before the two Enneads. 2196c. Thou art a spirit among thy brothers. 2197a. 2197b, spirits. 2198a, ON, stand up. 2198b, sit thou before thy heart like Anubis, first of the Westerners. 2199a. Thou art come, again, to thy right state. 2199b. 2199c. Utterance 702. 2200a, to say, N, is come to you. 2200b. Ye great and powerful pair of goddesses, who are on the eastern side of heaven. 2200c, that you both may carry N and set him on the eastern side of heaven. Utterance 703. 2201a, to say, O, N, thy soul is with thee. 2201b. As Osiris. 2201c, O, N, live, thou shalt not die. 2202a, Horus comes to thee, he separates thy bandages, he casts off thy bonds. 2202b, Horus has expelled thy rivals. 2202c, the earth god sees thee not. 2203a, On. Thy, Ka is mighty. 2203b, thy father is not among men, thy mother is not among mankind. 2204a, thy mother is the great WR.T Urius, the white crown, the royal headdress, resident in El Kab. 2204b. She with variegated feather, she with the two hanging, and shaking, breasts. 2205, N, is not seized by. Utterance 704. 2206a, to say, N, is a male, coming forth from Ra. 2206b, N. has come forth from between the thighs of the Ennead. 2206c, SSM.T.T conceived him, SSM.T.T gave him birth. 2206d, N is a falcon coming forth from Ra. 2206e, N is the living IR.T serpent, which came forth from the eye of Ra. 2206f. He flies, he hovers over the throne of Khepri, in the bow of his boat in the sky. LIX, a series of unclassifiable fragments. Utterances 705 to 714. 705. 2207, thy father. 706. 2208a, in his name, of Ra. 2208b, N was nursed on the milk, of. 2208c. Your arm. 707. 2209a, his mother. 2209b, his mother is SS3.T. Satis, guide. 2209c. 708. 2210a. 1. 2210b, N. 2210c with the B scepter. 709. 2211a, the name of N. 2211b. His beloved son, coming forth from. 2211c, N, being. 2211d, to exist. 710. 2212a, these gods. 2212b. Says the priest of Ra, to, N. 2212c, of the gods, he satisfies the spirits. 2212d, N, the sky with. 2212e, his pellet of incense is broken. 2213a. Horus has put his arm around, N. 2213b, before N. 2213c, N, with natron. 2213d, thou art thought who avenges it, thou art not, like Set who took it. 2213e. 711. 2214a. 2214b, thou hast seen the delta. 2214 C. N. Voyages there to the shore, of 2214 D. N. Separates 2214 E. 712 2215 A. Behind N. 2215 B. 713 2216 A. To attack 2216 B. N. 2216 C. N. 714 2217 A. 2217 B. N. The end.